Hello everybody, Derek here, and I'm here to bring you another video for the Walking Dead countdown to the Season 5 premiere of Walking Dead on October 12th. We are exactly 68 days away from the Season 5 premiere. We're getting there, it's exciting, and I'm really ready for this upcoming season. And in order to help us count down, I'm going to do a Season 5 character death predictions video, where we're basically going to see which characters I believe may be killed off The Walking Dead in Season 5. So I'm going to go over that list, and I'm going to share my thoughts on these. And if you don't want to be spoiled, just please exit the video and come back at a later time when you're caught up. And I thank you again. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to do a breakdown of which characters I think may be killed off The Walking Dead in Season 5. As you know, The Walking Dead is a post-apocalyptic zombie show. It's a very dangerous world, and characters are killed off, which they've shown they're not afraid to kill characters off when it is needed. You know, it's a very dangerous world out there for characters, and I think that they definitely are going to kill several characters off this season. Part of the reason is because there's a lot of walkers around on the shows we've seen. The other reason being is we're getting to the Alexandria Safe Zone this upcoming season, and I feel like in order for them to really bring in new characters, like maybe Douglas, Spencer, Heath, Aaron, Eric, Nicholas, characters like that next season, they're going to have to kill off some of the ones that they have now, or else too many of them are going to be shoved into the background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to list off the 7 characters that I think are going to be killed off this season. I did not include Gareth in this episode. I did not include Gareth in this list because I really don't think that they're actually going to I don't think it's going to be something that we need to discuss. I think that Gareth is going to die this season. It's pretty much guaranteed, so I'm not going to really go into that too much in this video. The 7 characters that I do have down are Glenn, Carol, Beth, Tyrese, Sasha, Bob, and Rosita are the potential characters that may be killed off this season. I'm going to start out with Glenn. And as we know, Glenn's been on the show ever since the first season. He's definitely developed great as a character. I really like watching Glenn. He really does a very good job. You know, Steven Yeun is a very good actor. And if I had to rank these characters 1 to 7, I would list Glenn as 7. I really think that he can survive this season. There is a chance, but I also feel there's also a chance that he could get killed off. It is a 50-50 thing. Part of the reason is because with Glenn, I think that they've really gone a long way with this character. And one of the things that I feel that needs to happen for the future is that Glenn has to die in order for Maggie to really develop as a character. As you know, Maggie eventually in the comics becomes the leader of the Hilltop Colony on the show. And in the comics. And I don't think that they can do that in the TV show if Glenn is still alive. I feel like Glenn had to die in order for Maggie to really step up and be more of a developed character. And I wouldn't be surprised if they went that route a little early because of the fact that, you know, Maggie can develop a little more. Right now they have the problem with, in order to make storylines with these characters, you have to look at it as Glenn and Maggie, not Glenn or Maggie. Whereas you have to basically write your story kind of centered around these 2 characters for their storylines because they're married, they're in a very healthy relationship. And I just think that their relationship has gone through a lot of challenges already. We've kind of seen that in Season 2. They developed their romantic interests. And in Season 3, they kind of hit a rough patch after they get captured by the governor. And then they kind of work their way back. They are talking about children. You know, they're talking about settling down in the beginning of the 4th season. And then the prison gets attacked. And then we see how that love brings them back together. So they've really done a great job of writing a story. I just worry that they may have to do a little bit of repeating, and I don't want them to, you know, fall into too much of a pattern with these characters. There's another reason why I think they may kill Glenn off, and that's for a storyline for Maggie. As you know in the comics, Maggie actually tries to kill herself in the comics because of the fact that she loses Herschel and Billy, her brother, in the comics in the prison attack. She's lost Herschel in the TV show, and whether it's because it hasn't sunk in yet or whether it's because she was out looking for Glenn that she has, I don't know if she's dealt with that death yet. And I wonder if they kill Glenn off in the 5th season, will she actually, you know, fall down that dark path? And I think that she might. And I think they could use that in order to explore Maggie this season. It is potential that, you know, because Glenn's death would definitely be hard hitting for her. And I know that, and that may be enough in order for her to, you know, follow through with that storyline in the comics and then watch her redevelop and become a leader. So they may do that, but I hope they don't. I really hope that Glenn is safe, and we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. Next up is Carol. And the thing about Carol is I really love what they've done with her in season 4. You know, having her really step up, killing Karen and David, and then eventually killing Lizzie shows that she has developed so much than that scared woman that she was in the first 2 seasons. Carol never killed a walker in the first 2 seasons of the show. She was always that character that was running away from things, that was trying to be protected, that was pretty much in mourning because of her daughter dying, Sophia. And I really love how they finally kind of brought her out of her shell, and she finally can make these decisions. She's finally shown just how much of a person she has changed since the beginning of the show. The only problem is they may have jumped the shark last season with her character, and I just don't know what else they can do with her in this upcoming season that could really surprise us. I think that they can kind of go along with, you know, how she's been, but I think that once we get to a certain point, I think that they might kill her off as a sacrifice. I also feel like it could be the season to redeem her, you know, before she dies. Because I feel like Carol could definitely use a little bit of redemption, even though we as viewers may be able to see, like, in a weird, justified way why she did what she did. It's a zombie apocalypse. You're going to have to make a lot of tough decisions. None of them I don't think were taken lightly. I don't think she just thought, I'm just going to, you know, go over there and kill Karen and David. I mean, I think she really had to think about it. I think it was definitely a debate, especially for Lizzie, you know, the same thing. But I just think that this could definitely be the season where they redeem Carol right before they kill her, to kind of like bring her full circle, and in order to, you know, have her death be in a more positive light. I'm still a fan of Carol, and I'm sure many other fans are as well. So I really hope that they, you know, at least give her more of a redeeming storyline this season, but I also wouldn't be surprised if she gets killed off, because she is dead in the comics, and right now they're writing from scratch, and I think that it would be a good time to give her a redemption story and then kill her off in order to bring her character full circle. Even though I love Melissa McBride, congrats, Melissa, on the Saturn Award. You definitely earned it. I have to say, you definitely earned that award. Next up, we have Beth. And again, a lot of us have been saying that Beth is going to die each year since she's been introduced, and she hasn't. And I'm glad that she hasn't. I think that there's a reason. And I love how in that season 4 episode, still, when her and Daryl are arguing, she's just like, yeah, I'm not Maggie, I'm not Michonne, I'm not so-and-so, I live. And she's really trying to bring that point up. I mean, it may be like a slap in our face for doubting her all these years, but I really think that she's showing a good point, that she's still there because she's strong enough to be there. She's meant to be there. And I think that I love the fact that they've kept her up to this point. Now, the only thing that I worry about is that they've kind of brought her out of her shell, and I feel like she's in a midway point. She kind of resembles like what Andrea did with like Woodbury and the prison. She's kind of the only character that links to whatever this other group is. I mean, we don't even know too much about this other group that she's with right now. She's kind of that only link. And I wouldn't be surprised if she would be the reason why these two groups connect, and she might die because of that. The other thing is, I also feel like, again, Beth's death would definitely help Maggie grow as a character. I really think that she would be devastated by Beth's death, and it may be enough to even do that storyline for Maggie, you know, and because I really want to see that. I want to see Maggie go through a rough patch right before she becomes her tough, strong leader character that she is at the Hilltop Colony, and I think that Beth might be the way to do that. Plus, I also think Beth's death would definitely be very devastating for us as viewers, because we have grown to love her. She is a great character. And each season we need that one character death that really hits us. And I think they've done that with Dale. They did that with Merle, T-Dog, Lori, and Andrea. You could technically consider all of them for season 3 as like hard-hitting deaths. Herschel, definitely the hardest hitting of them all, I think, especially for season 4. So I think that Beth could be that death that could be hard-hitting, which leads me to my next point. Tyrese could also be that hard-hitting death. Tyrese has definitely become a fan favorite, and he's dead in the comics. So they're kind of writing from scratch. And the other thing that I worry about right now with the show, they kind of have a lot of strong male leads at this point. You have Rick, you have Daryl, you have Abraham, you have Glenn, you have Tyrese. You have a lot of strong male characters, and it's going to be hard to give them all screen time. It's going to be hard to like make them in a leader type position. And I think that one of the things that they could do is potentially kill Tyrese off, because I just don't know where they're going to go with him in the story. The other thing is his death would also be hard hitting. And I also worry that if you keep Tyrese alive, he's going to fade into the background. Again, I don't want to see that happen to any character. I would rather every character be used to their fullest now, and if they have to get killed off, kill them off while they're still like big characters. I don't want to see Tyrese fade into the background. I really don't. So that might be the reason why they may take Tyrese out, because his death would be hard hitting, and plus it would make way for other characters to grow. So they may do it. I hope they don't. I do like Chad L. Coleman. I really think he's a great actor, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did keep Tyrese alive, and I think he has good potential. I also just wouldn't be surprised if they killed him off now. And then I'm going to kind of try to group Sasha, Bob, and Rosita into a little bit of a group here, because these are the characters that really haven't been developed as much as other characters. We really don't know too much about Sasha. We know a little bit about Bob, and then we just got introduced to Rosita. Part of the problem with Rosita is that in the comics, she really isn't developed as much as the other characters. I mean, she's in a relationship with Abraham in the comics. I don't know if that's been established yet in the TV show. And they may not go that route. They didn't do the Dale Andrea relationship, and they may not do the Abraham-Rosita relationship. But I feel like killing Rosita off may push Abraham to be, like a tougher, harder character this season. So it may be used as a way to, strengthen Abraham as a character if they kill Rosita off. Plus, I don't want her to, follow the same path as they did in the in the comic series when she just fades to the background. So that may be a possibility. But I also hope Rosita lives in another way. I mean, I really think that they have the chance to really make her a more developed, strong character in the TV show, which they may do. And with Sasha and Bob, the problem right now is they're an item. They may become a couple. You don't know. I mean, they shared one kiss, and whether Sasha's really interested in Bob, we don't know. But I think that killing Bob off might push Sasha into more of a leadership role. Plus, Sasha might also be used as a way to strengthen Tyrese a little bit. But I do love Sasha as a character. I really like how they made her part of the council in the 4th season. How she really showed how tough she is as a character. She does have a lot of potential. But I just think that because of the fact that she's not developed, I worry that they won't have room to develop her when we get to the Alexandria Safe Zone, and that's why they might kill her off now, because it would receive less fan backlash. I would still be sad. Don't get me wrong. I think a lot of us would still be sad. I really love Sasha's character. I just don't know where they're going to go with her. And I think that they may use this as she may be a noble sacrifice for the group in order to get them to Washington. Because like I said, I think there's going to be several people that die before they get to Washington, and they're going to make it as a sacrificial type thing. So I'm really interested to see what they do there. And then Bob, the biggest thing about Bob is he's starting to become the hopeful moral compass. And as we know, when Dale became that, he died. When Herschel became that, he died. Bob has a lot of hope in this world, I think. Bob definitely felt great about Sasha. He was confident enough to give it the good college try and kiss Sasha to see how she felt. He was positive that they were going to find Glenn, and they did. He has a lot of hope, and he has a lot of, push in order to get places. I think that he's becoming the moral compass. He's becoming the hopeful guy. And when that happens, you get killed off, it seems. And I think that they might do that in order to put everybody's spirits down a little bit. Because Bob has quite a few connections with characters, and I think that killing him off would definitely devastate several of the other characters, especially Daryl, Tyrese, Sasha, and I think that they might do that because it might push them to continue on to Washington. Who knows? We may run into a rough patch there. They might need hope in order to get there, and if Bob dies, that may be the hope that they need. But again, I hope they don't kill all of them all. I don't think they will. Like I said, whatever they do is whatever they do. I have extreme love for all of these characters on the show. They've done a great job casting the right people, and I really have enjoyed the show. I really, really do. So that's all I have for this video. Again, I hope that they all live. But it's clear that some of them are going to die. We're just going to wait and see what happens. And again, I want to thank everybody for viewing. And again, feel free to subscribe if you want to see more. I'm going to keep counting down until we get to the season premiere. We're getting close. 68 days. We'll be getting there shortly, and I really am excited for this season. So I want to thank you all again for watching, and I really hope that you have a good day today. Thank you.